Hey everybody, welcome to another top 20 list, and today I will be sharing my top 20 favorite sophomore albums. Yes. Few weeks back, maybe a month ago, I did my top 20 favorite debut albums list, and I think that video did pretty well. I think it did. So I decided to do why not do top 20 sophomore favorite sophomore albums. Since I did my debut albums, now sophomore albums. Yeah, those of y'all who don't know the term sophomore album, it's obviously the second album of a band or artist's discography, the follow up to the debut album. And I might do, third albums and fourth and whatnot. I might do that too sometime. But for now, this is my favorite sophomore albums. All right, so yeah, of course, keep in mind my personal opinions. If your favorite sophomore album isn't on here, I apologize. Just my personal list. So all right, no honorable mentions either. 20. So yeah, top 20 favorite sophomore albums. All right, let's go ahead and get started, shall we? All right, so my number 20 is from a band I like quite a bit. I don't know if I had their first album in my debut albums list. I can't remember, but I do like this one better than their debut album. That is number 20, Demon Days by the Gorillaz. Yeah, Gorillaz. I really like Gorillaz. Damon Albarn is a very talented guy. I like Blur too, but I actually like Gorillaz just a little bit better. Um, yeah, and this one, at least of what I've heard so far, that is until I do a Gorillaz ranking video. I probably will someday. Um, this one's actually my favorite of what I've heard so far, but I haven't heard all of their albums yet. So yeah, but yeah, I like this one a lot. Got some great songs on here, like "Last Living Souls," "Kids with Guns," "Dirty Harry." It's one of my favorites. Actually, I think it's my second favorite on this album. Of course, "Feel Good Inc." and "Dare" is my personal favorite. Yeah, this is a great album. I think it's it's great. My favorite Gorillaz album, at least right now. Yeah, Gorillaz Demon Days. That is number 20. Okay, number 19 is by Queens of the Stone Age. That is rated R. This isn't my favorite Queens of the Stone Age album. Not even close. I like the first album better, the self-titled debut. That one's, I think, my favorite, at least at the moment. And of course, Songs for the Deaf. I like that one better. But I don't know. This one's pretty good. I mean, well, it's obviously good because it's on the list. But no, I like this album. I think it's pretty good. Got songs like "The Lost Art of Keeping a Secret," Autopilot, "Better Living Through Chemistry," "Monsters in the Carousel." Probably my personal favorite is "In the Fade," which was sung by the late great Mark Lanigan from Screaming Trees. Rest in peace. And also, I think "I Lost My Headache" is a really cool closing track. Yeah, I like this one quite a bit. Again, not my favorite, but it's good. It's very good. Queens of the Stone Age rated R is number 19. All right. Number 18 is by a band that I used to love back in my middle school days, and of course, I still like this band. I just don't love them like I used to. But my number 18 is by Alice in Chains, and that is their best album, Dirt. Yes. I mean, this has to be like one of the best grunge albums ever made, and yeah, it's awesome. Got great songs on here like "Them Bones," "Damn That River," "Rain When I Die," "Down in a Hole," "Rooster," which I've heard a lot, but it's a good song. "Junkhead" is my personal favorite. "I Hate to Feel," "Angry Chair," "Wood." Yeah, really awesome grunge album from the 90s. Well, probably one of the best 90s albums, and definitely one of the best sophomore albums. Yeah, Alice in Chains Dirt is my number, was it 18? Yes, my number 18 is Dirt by Alice in Chains. All right, let's see, number 17. Yes, number 17 is by another band that I used to love, I still like, but just don't listen to him that much. But I had to include this one. Number 17 is by the White Stripes. That is the Style. I'm pretty sure that's how you say it. I actually had to look it up, and they all said the Style is how you is the pronunciation of this album. I think I used to call it D Steel, but I had no idea how to actually pronounce it, so I had to look up. But yeah, the Style. Uh, yeah, by the White Stripes. This is a very underrated album. This is, in my opinion, probably the White Stripes' most underrated album ever. Um, and it might be my personal favorite. I think it could be. But yeah, this album's great. You got great songs on here like "You're Pretty Good Looking for a Girl," "Hello Operator," "Apple Blossom," which was actually in the Hateful Eight. Believe it or not, yeah, Apple Blossom. That was awesome to hear it in that song. Um, I'm Bound to Pack It Up, Death Letter. Um, let's see, what else? Jumble Jumble. Why Can't You Be Nicer to Me? Which I think I've heard in a Simpsons episode. And Your Southern Can Is Mine. Yeah, I really like this album. It might be my favorite White Stripes album. Whenever I do a White Stripes ranking, we'll see for sure. But yeah, The Style. That is number 17. The Style by the White Stripes. All right, number 16. Now, this one, I think a lot of people might put this at number one, and I get it. It's definitely one of the most one of the most influential albums ever made. A lot of people say it's one of the best albums ever made, and it's by a band that I've always loved ever since middle school. Um, One of my favorite bands, but this is honestly one of my least favorite albums by this band. Um, but I had to put this one on here despite me not being a huge fan of it because it is a good album. Don't get me wrong. Number 16 is Nevermind by Nirvana. Yeah, I mean, I'm sorry for it being so low, but at least it's on the list. No, I had to add this one. I mean, it's like I said, it's one of the most influential albums ever made, and it's very important in rock music, and it is a good album. It really is. But my problem with it is the production. I don't like the production on this album. It sounds just I don't know. Some of the about I just don't like how it sounds really. But it does have great songs on here. Such as Come As You Are, Lithium, Polly, Territorial Pissing, Strain You, Lounge Act, On a Plane, Something in the Way. You notice I didn't say Smells Like Teen Spirit. That's because I think that song is overrated as hell. But so yeah, I think this album is slightly overrated. I don't think Nirvana is overrated. I just think this album is slightly overrated because I don't think it's their best. I think both Bleach and In Utero are better than this. But yeah, I had to add this on here at least. So yeah, because it does have good songs. So yeah, Nevermind by Nirvana is number 16. All right. Number 15 is a an album that influenced a lot of bands, probably even Nirvana, I imagine. This is definitely another influential album, but not as iconic as Nevermind, but it is also influential. That is Funhouse by the Stooges. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't own it, so I have to show the Wikipedia page. But got a little bit of those albums where I don't own, so yeah. But no, I really like this one. I don't know if it's my favorite Stooges album. It might be Raw Power, but But Funhouse is great. I love how like crazy it gets and stuff, especially on the second side of the album. It gets really crazy, but it also sounds really cool. Like it kind of I'm not sure exactly where it was recorded, but it kind of sounds like they recorded this album like in an empty arena. Like that's kind of like live in an empty arena. I'm not sure if they did, but it does sound that way, and that's what I really like about it. It's so cool. Um, got great songs on here such as "Down on the Streets," "Loose," TVI, "Dirt," the self-titled track. Yeah, really awesome album, Funhouse by the Stooges. Um, I love the Stooges. Yeah, I don't actually own any Stooges albums, unfortunately. I have a little bit of Iggy Pop, his solo stuff. Like I have The Passenger on CD, and I believe, yeah, I have Blah Blah on vinyl. But I don't have any Stooges. I need to get some, because I love the Stooges. But yeah, Stooges, Funhouse, that is number 15. All right, that was number 15, right? Yeah, number 15 is number 14. Okay, so number 14 is by another great 90s band. And yeah, I'm actually kind of surprised I have this over Nevermind, but I don't know. This album just works better for me than Nevermind. That is by Stone Temple Pilots. That is Purple. Yeah, I love this album. It's not. It's actually my second favorite Stone Temple Pilots album. My favorite by them is actually the underrated third album, Tiny Music. But um, but no, Purple is definitely my second favorite. Great songs on here such as Meat Plow, Vaseline, Loungefly, Interstate Love Song, Pretty Penny. I'm actually just remembering them because I it doesn't have the track list on the back. But the Silver Gun Superman. Uh, I like the final track on the album. Well, besides the end track, but what was it called? Kitchenware and Candy Bars. That one's cool. Yeah. Stone Temple Pilots Purple. Great '90s album. I kind of think it's a little bit underrated, actually. Despite Big Empty is also another great song from this album. Yeah, I forgot to mention, but I mean, of course, it has its hits. It has, sorry, like Interstate Love Song and Big Empty are famous songs, but I do think this album is a little bit underrated, and I think even Core gets more talked about than this one. And honestly, I'm not a big fan of Core. If you've seen my debut albums list, it wasn't even on there. Um, Not a big fan of it, but I do like Purple. Purple is awesome, and it is number 14. All right, number 13 is by the band that I'm wearing their shirt right now. That is um Robin the Hood by Sublime. Yeah, this album is kind of weird, but I like it. Like it's mixed. I mean, it's studio songs, but it's also mixed in with like some home demos, like some acoustic stuff, and some really weird tracks too. Um, it's a bizarre album, but I like it. That's actually why I like it. It might even be my favorite Sublime album. I'm not really sure. It's either this or the self-titled album, but I really like Robin the Hood. It's weird, but I love it. And I also got we got great songs on here such as Pull Shark, Step and Razor, Greatest Hits, Saw Red, uh see what else. Cisco Kid is great. STP. Boss DJ is my favorite Sublime song, which is an acoustic song by just sung by Brad Knoll. Uh, but yeah, I love this album. It's so cool. Unfortunately, I don't own it. I think the only Sublime album I actually own is the self-titled, but I need to get this and 40 Ounces of Freedom too, which is I'm wearing the wrong shirt. This is actually for 40 Ounces of Freedom, but whatever. Um, but yeah, Sublime, Robin the Hood is number 13. All right, number 12. This one is actually, in a way, kind of similar to Robin Hood. Different artists, of course, but it's a little bit similar. because it is also a very strange album, and it also has like some home demos and whatnot, even some live tracks. But my number 12 is by Beck, and that is Stereopathetic Soulmanure. Yeah, and yeah, those are not aware. Yeah, this is actually his second album. Odelay wasn't his second album. That was actually his fifth album. And Mellow Gold was not his first album. That was his third. Um, no, he had two albums for Mellow Gold. He had Golden Feelings and Stereopathetic Soul Manure, and then the follow up Mellow Gold was One Foot in the Grave, and then after that was Odelay. I mean, Mellow Gold and Odelay, those are his first like major label albums, but these others though that I mentioned, those were like made by himself pretty much, like well they're from like independence labels and whatnot. But out of those three albums, Stereopathetic Soul Manure is my favorite. It's really bizarre, but I love it. I love how just over the top and just like how weird this album gets, and like it's pretty experimental too. Like there's a bunch of like of course folk and blues and country stuff, but also like some noise rock as well. It's really cool. Great songs on here such as Rowboat, Thunder Peel, The Spirit Moves Me, No Money No Honey, One Foot in the Grave. Today has been a fucked up day. Putting It Down is a great song. Ozzy is hilarious. Satan Gave Me a Taco is my favorite on here. Um, yeah, this one's great. I love this album. This is definitely like in my top five favorite Beck albums. If I'm going to be honest, I think it is. I am planning on doing a Beck ranking soon, so hopefully I'll put it on my next poll. Actually, right after I get done with this video, I'm going to put up that poll. But of course, by the time this gets out, that poll has already been up. But on my Instagram. But yeah, Stereopathetic Soul Manure, awesome album, and that was my number 12. Yeah, my number 12, Stereopathetic Soul Manure by Beck. All right. So before I move on to number 11, I'm just gonna go ahead and say this. After I talk about this album here, I'm gonna end the video, and this is gonna be a part one because I wasn't. Apparently, this video is getting a little bit too long. I think by the time I get to one, it's probably gonna be like at 30, maybe even 40 minutes. So I apologize for this video getting long, but that I'm just gonna go ahead and split up into two parts, and then next Thursday will be part two of this list. So yeah, I'm sorry, people. I'm sorry to do this. I mean, y'all probably have already known because it should say in the title that this is part one. Um, but as I'm recording this, I was not planning on doing this. I was originally going to do it do all of it in one video. But no, yeah, this is going to be into two parts. So yeah, okay. So all right, all right, so let's get to number 11. All right, and number 11, last album I'll talk about in this video, that is by the band Primus, and that is Sailing the Seas of Cheese. Yes, and I think this might be my favorite Primus album. Either this or the debut Frizzle Fry, which I had in my debut albums too. But Selling the Seas of Cheese, this I remember this was the album that got me into Primus, and so it probably is my favorite, probably because of that. But this is a great album. I love this one. This is probably Primus's best album in my opinion. Some people might say Pork Soda, but I love Sailing Seas of Cheese. You got great songs on here like Here Come the Bastards, Sergeant Baker, American Life, Jerry Was a Race Car Driver, Is It Luck, Tommy the Cat, Those Damn Blue Collar Tweakers, and Fish On. Awesome songs. Yeah. Um, yeah, I love this album. Primus sucks. um, I love Primus. Primus Sailing the Seas of Cheese is number 11. All right, so that does it for part one of my favorite debut or sophomore album. So next week, look out for part two. Again, I wasn't planning on doing this, but since we're already at the 20-minute mark, I figured I might as well. So yeah, part two will be out next Thursday. As for this coming Monday, that will be my. I think I'm going to at least try to do this. My top 10 favorite or top 10 movies that I hate but everyone else likes. I'm going to try to do that. I had to look for 10 movies, but yeah. So look out for that. So all right. So please like, subscribe, comment, and hit the bell, and I'll see you later. All right. Peace.